Welcome back to Build Theory. Super Strength Sucks. Part 2. And in the previous live stream, I indicated that I was working on a updated build to, well, try and get something a little more performant, if you will, out of Super Strength. First thing I probably need to do is make sure that I save my UI. This is okay, now that I got my UI saved, let's head for our supergroup base. And then we'll take a look at our routes. Not who I want to talk to. Alright, into a supergroup base. And here we go. Alright, now what we have right now in the foreground is the current build, and in the background is one of the builds that I've kind of been working on, dubbed R7, which leapfrogs the last revision that I did. We'll do a quick swapping. And move you up front. And move you to the back. Alright. The new build basically pars rage all the way back. It does not need to have a massive amount of slotting to be permanent. We're still picking up on this appears to be a bug within Mid-Zero Reborn. We're still picking up near single target soft caps to smashing lethal fire cold. We are single target to fire cold. Not quite there with smashing lethal. We've improved our fire cold resistance a little bit. And that makes it easier with scaling resist to reach hard cap or get closer to the hard cap. If anyone hits you with the resist buff. So this first objective was, actually I probably should show the R6 build. The name of the build was R6 Regen, and we'll go bring that up. Brute Super Strength R6 Regen. Right now, presently, I'm running 2218 hit points regenerated. With dull pain up, I'm reaching 33.31. Now, I haven't actually gotten some of the accolades, so that amount could go up a little bit higher. So the R6 Regen build, likewise, cratered rage, and used it to pick up some more regeneration. So the calculatory with dull pain off is 30 HP, around 30 HP per second regeneration base. With dull pain up, 44.H2 HP per second. So a significant boost in regeneration, separate of the defense and everything else. And this, again, so those were the major changes, basically using regeneration to have a method to get around the enforced rage crash. I obviously never actually made this build because that's not a build that's currently on the character. That kind of, after I was asked to, well, not directly asked, but indirectly, someone wanted a tanker build done, so I went and worked on a tanker invuln. Some of those changes are backported into the brute. And among those are a little less emphasis on um, regeneration. Uh, the brute build is still base, pulling 27.27 hit points per second. With dull pain up, it's the brute build is still pulling 40.17 per second. So it's not really that far off. It's still better. It's still better performance than the R5 build in terms of regeneration, but not quite as good as R6 regeneration. But there are a few more twists than that. Among those twists are a change in overall power strategy. I no longer have hasten. I don't need hasten to drive Perma Rage. With 120-second duration and with the base recharge that I got around, and with just a 2-hit buff recharge and an adjusted targeting recharge, I'm picking up a calculated 78.97 seconds recharge. So Rage is still in the perma if I start cranking it. And among other changes is I've swapped from super speed to speed of sound. I've picked up experimental injection, which anytime I use it on a player gives me the chance to heal myself, as well as buff the other player. And I've also picked up corrosive vial, which has picked up a purple set, such as the one that was an analog to the one that was used in Cross Punch. Cross Punch had Armageddon, corrosive vial gets Ragnarok. And Corrosive Vial has a recharge time of under 20 seconds with a duration of 15 seconds. So, probably not useful for every single encounter, but still enough that I can drop a target OE that does a defense debuff on enemies. And some of the other changes are moving powers around. Resist energies is still drastically underslotted. Now, to be fair, I am getting very close to smashing lethal resistance. In fact, I'm within the scaling defense range to be capped to smashing lethal resistance. So one of the things that I'm kind of thinking right now is what happens if I take away the Gladiator Armor's resist there. I'm at 82.8%, losing some resistance. It still puts me at 89.8%, with the, it's either 88.8% or is it 7 points? Okay, so 87.8%. I'm still very, very close to the smash. I might as well be smashing lethal hard capped. It's very, very close. So that may be a change that's worth making. Alright, so we're going to kind of predicate on that. We're going to just put resist physical damage. We're going to just slot in our status resistance regeneration. I'm going to come back over here for a second. We'll pull these two slots out, and we'll do slots and enhancement slots, auto arrange all slots, and then we'll come down to resist energies. And in resist energies, we'll put in our gladiator plus resistance all the way, and our gladiator proc. Alright, and now we've bumped up our energy negative resistance to around 41%. So we're doing a little bit better there. We're doing better than the uh, R6 regeneration build, and that we've gone from 38% energy negative to 41 energy negative. We haven't touched fire, cold, or toxic. Uh, okay, we're almost at 83 plus 7. We're going to be at 89.8 percent smashing lethal resistance. So we're just 0.2% off of hard cap. Uh, that's as our health drops. So whoop-de-doo. That's, you know, so a little bit of damage will get through. But fighting in a mob, they'll have to get through the mob defenses first. We're still not doing great on energy negative defense. But all we need is, what, 2 enemies? Let's go and check this. So I want 2 invincibility. 2 enemies. Alright, 2 enemies is 43. 3 enemies. That was 4 enemies. So just 3 enemies with invincibility active puts me into soft cap to smashing lethal. Uh, uh, so as soon as you charge into a mob, you're pretty much going to be at smashing lethal soft cap. And I've got Darkest Night 2 layer on top of that. Let's bring the R7 build back up. Okay. So I've got Corrosive Vial, which now does a minus defense, making it easier for me to hit enemies, as well as doing damage over time on the enemies. So, not saying it's going to do more damage than Cross Punch, but it may do enough more damage, or make my other powers land more often. Uh, should be a useful utility change, as well as I'm picking up something where I can just, if a teammate's having difficulty, especially on new master of runs, I've now got something that can help teammates, so a extra bonus there. Other changes that are made come down to health and stamina compared to the R6 regeneration. I'm losing some of the Numinas. I'm keeping the Numina proc. I'm keeping the regenerative tissue proc. I could pick up some more regeneration by taking power transfer in mod and putting it down on health. Uh, yeah, or I could pick up some different regeneration by adding something to power transfer. Right now I've got power transfer capped on as much endurance modification as it can offer, and a chance to heal self. So I'm kind of okay with how that's slotting out. I would like to pick up another slot to gain back some regeneration on health. And it's out of curiosity, what happens if I go and let's lock Rage off. I don't have Hasten, so I'm just going to take the 2-hit buff out. What do we go to? We're at 86 seconds. If I just change that, if I just leave that every charge, don't worry about buffing the 2-hit, because I think I've got Kismet flying around here or something. Oh right, I took Kismet off a previous build because it was running Rage all the time, but now that Rage Crash is enforced, I don't have a Kismet proc flowing anymore. Oh, good thing I thought about that beforehand. Okay. So taking the proc off of Rage, I could go throw it onto... What's my first defense power I'm using all the time? It would be combat jumping. Not so sure about putting Kismet on combat jumping. Resistance. Weave is more likely toggle. I've done combat jumping before. Resistance fire cold. So Kismet proc. Alright, no, I did not have a Kismet slide. Okay, well, good thing I caught that beforehand. Okay, so quick question. What's going to give me more regeneration? Regenerative tissue regeneration or a Numi heal with the 12% regeneration? Let's find out. Right now our regen is at 317%. And so we'll swap you to Namina. Namina heal. 50 plus 5. 325. So I actually get more regeneration out of 2-slot health rather than having the regenerative tissue proc in here. Okay. We're probably actually just going to run with that. And the other option is to take the end mod from here. Oops. Take the end mod from here and then do regenerative tissue. And now we are at 344. So now we're pulling down 43.61. Alright, 43.61. Let's put dull pain up. Let's turn dull pain off. So 29.61 versus 30.21. Without the proc in there, 27, so that's around 3 HP per second. Actually, does it give me the calculation? Alright, 25%, 1.56 hit points per second regeneration. 27 plus 1.56. It's like I kind of more strongly prefer putting it in an experimental injection so that it's useful to an ally's recovery. What does it look like at the top end with dull pain? Alright. Regeneration build of 44.32. R7. R7 is 40.45, so regeneration proc in. And we're at 43.61. Alright, that's at the top end. I'm getting very close back to the regeneration build. And picking up a little bit more. I've been seeing. So I think that's how this is. I think that may be the best way for us to go. I can still jab someone with experimental injection, but it really won't do much. But I'm now pulling back enough regeneration on top end, so this seems like a plan. And okay, what was our recovery at? Okay, recovery on. Let's go back up to the top. Our end drain with all toggles active is 1.186. Let's double check. Oh, that's for let's turn super speed off. Alright. Our end drain is 0.086 per second with a recovery of 3.16. And on R7, we have an end drain of 0.86 per second with a recovery of 3.39. So we are recovering more endurance. We are keeping the same endurance reduction overall, and we're keeping the same base recharge of 78.75%. Let's take invincibility back to 1 for apples to apples single target comparison. Alright. This looks like the final. Okay, some of the other things that I changed coming off of R6 regeneration are I moved combat jumping way earlier in the build, and we also moved our travel power again way earlier in the build. We moved resist energies further down into the build. And did I make any other changes? I needed to change boxing for kick. Change for recharge. And I need experimental injection before corrosive vial. I need invincibility as soon as I can get it. I don't need weave that early, but having weave here means that I start to come into effective defensive soft caps. Pretty much. And this is, oh, that's why I didn't need Kismet either. Because I had invincibility, not just rage. What is the 2-hit buff on invincibility? Alright, invincibility with a single target affects 2-hit 2%. So at a full mob saturation, I actually have, let's turn Kismet back off for a second. Oh, I still have 20% 2-hit. And that's before rage is accounted for. So, okay. Maybe I don't. Kismet would be nicer at low levels, but I don't necessarily need it. So I could come back and put the end modification on experimental injection. And now my total regeneration with dull pain up is 350. And now I'm pulling in 44.37. So I'm back up to the R6 regeneration build. And all I've really sacrificed is some 2-hit buff and rage. But rage is still pretty much perma, so whoop-de-doo. If anything, the longer period between may give it more time to recover and come back. Alright, and we've also got a chance to heal self in power transfer. So we've increased our heal over time, admittedly in a minor method. And so that does it for our power swap around. Resist energies is kind of low because it's a really minor resist buff. I mean, it's still some resist buff. It also does give me a resistance to endurance drain. You know, if only it gave endurance recovery, that'd be awesome. But it doesn't, so whatever. And tough hide is as soon as we can get it. I'd really like to move corrosive vial earlier. And what I'm kind of thinking is just moving rage, since rage is no longer a centerpiece, or at least for rage is not, rage can, until it is revamped in some method, rage is not the centerpiece for super strength. It's the destruction of super strength. So I'm kind of okay with moving rage to the mid-range where I now have a little bit more utility to work around it. I don't know. What's the endurance cost on rage anyways? I mean, so what's the endurance cost on corrosive vial? I know what the endurance cost on rage is. Too damn much. Alright, our endurance is 13.85. Wow. That's actually more endurance what is our base here? 20.8 versus Dark Obliteration's 18.98. Wow, when Dark Obliteration's base endurance looks good in comparison, something broke. Because all of the tertiaries are unbalanced. But I think that's I think this is an effective compromise. We're getting more recovery back. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. I'm not saying that this is going to be great for Master of Runs, because we're still... Oh, are we? No! I've got Spiritual Core targeted, not Agility. So we're looking at regeneration, not recovery amount. So we actually are looking at the... let's turn Spiritual Core off and check our rage numbers again. Rage with Spiritual off is at 72 seconds. So we're still well within the 120-second duration. So that's good. Melee Radial Embodiment. Let's turn that off. Let's do the same over here. Spiritual Core Paragon off. Melee Radial off. Okay, and then do apples to apples comparison. Alright, we're picking up 37.95, 37.99. So R7 is now actually still doing more regeneration, I think with less hit points, or less base hit points. We're definitely not at hit point cap. If we were at hit point cap, our regeneration level would be the same, so we're not obviously doing that. What's it look like outside of dull pain? Alright, we are at 37.9. I said dull pain off. We're at 26.49, 26.41. Whoa, what? 26.49, 26.41. Wow, that's weird. 37.95, 37.99. That's kind of funky that without dull pain on, R7 does less regeneration, but with dull pain on, it does more. I'm not sure. All of those are +5, right? Yeah, I don't know what's up with that calculatory error. Okay, so we can probably safely say they're probably equal. I had kick turned on. Let's check our numbers on rage. Oh, that's a good thing to keep track of. Okay, the kickoff rage is still at 103.6, so we're well within the permeable state. And with Spiritual Core Paragon on, rage is at 86. There's no particular reason to add more recharge to rage, because double stacking really doesn't do anything. It doesn't cancel out the effects of rage. And it would be nice if, it was down to 60 seconds and it were double stacking it. And with Spiritual in play, out of curiosity, let's just do that. Let's give it and we're going for adjusted targeting. Do hit buff recharge. And it only brings us down to 78 seconds, so nowhere near close to double stack perma. Damage buff, 80%, 160. How much does this actually affect? Let's go and put Fury at 85%. So nice, not top tier, but not crawling on the bottom. Kind of wound in it. I want 85. Okay, there we go, 85. Alright, and we'll look at Foot Stomp. And right now, Foot Stomp is calculated at 2282 with single stack rage turned on. Foot Stomp does 275. With double stack rage, Foot Stomp does 323. So 228 to 323. Nice ramp Fury up to 90%. Alright, let's go with 92%. Alright, go back to Rage, single stack, off, Foot Stomp. Foot Stomp does 236.5, single stack does 283.9, double stack of Rage does 331. So 331 to 323. So 8. So that's 8 points of damage. Yeah, Yeah, it's really nice if you can stack Rage that often. And it does give, this approach does give me a downtime of 18 seconds or so between stacked Rages. Or let's just screw the, IOs and period and just go with. That only brings me down to 78.2, so not a whole lot of change. At least not enough change possibly to uh, justify moving away from at least a tiny 2-hit buff and what was that, little overall damage buff? Yeah. Okay. So not getting close to perma double stack rage. We're about 19 to 20 seconds off that. But we are picking up some defense debuff. I think this is the final build that we're going to go with. And now the next thing is I need to do is actually do the respecification. And I think, yeah, I'm changing not a whole lot of powers. So this may go relatively quickly. And let's bring you up. Let's bring over the R7 build where I can see it. Alright, so we're starting with Punch. Resist physical damage already selected, so temporary invulnerability. Haymaker. Haymaker 2. Experimentation, speed of sound. Knockout blow. Resist elements. Choose from a new set. Fighting. Kick. Tough. Unyielding. Sorry about that. Unyielding. Okay, after unyielding, we've got Rage. Then combat jumping, so that we have some air control for speed of sound, combat jumping, dull pain. Then weave. And then experimental injection. And then invincibility. Alright, and another option here would be uh, going Force of Will for Unleashed Potential, which is another great way to get out. But um, we'll select some more damage for this. So, Corrosive Vial, Foot Stomp, Tough Hide, Resist Energies, Gloom. Achieve from a new epic, Soul Mastery, Gloom, Darkest, we'll do Dark Obliteration, then Darkest Night. And all the way at the end. Oh yeah, this was one I was trying to think about for a video that's hasn't been posted. Uh, Hurl actively, whatever your attack chain is, its animation time, activation time is 2.5 seconds, and um, so 2.5 seconds for a power. That's a really long time. It actually, or no matter how you slice it, Hurl actively stomps any DPS chain you might have going, any attack chain you might have formed. Uh, Hurl will do a good job of getting rid of it. Resist physical damage, that's not getting any. Temporary invulnerability is getting 4. Resist elements is getting 3. Unyielding is getting 4. Dull pain going all the way out. Invincibility getting 4. Tough hide getting 5. Resist energies. There we go. And now we're on to our powers with health getting 1, 2. Stamina getting 1, 2, 3. Speed of sound getting 1. Experimental injection with not getting anything progressive. File getting 5. Kick getting none. Tough getting 1, 2. First up 3. Oh, oops. Weave gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Combat jumping gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Soul mastery glowing gets 5. Dark obliteration gets 6. And there we are. Right, our gladiator's armor is now going on resist energies. And look at the gambler onto invincibility. Look at the gambler onto tough hide. Look at the gambler onto weave. Look at the gambler onto combat jumping. Stealing resist proc is going to tough hide. Alright, Mimina proc is going to health. Preventative medicine proc to there. Shield wall proc to weave. Put it there. Resist defense. Alright, I'm going to go pick up one that I can plus. Unbreakable guard. Where did I put unbreakable guard? Let's move this back up. Okay. Alright, unbreakable guard. I put that on temporary invulnerability for smashing lethal. Unyielding. Yeah, we're going to change that. Because I don't have a... This is such a low amount. And we'll change this one to recharge time resistance. I'll change this to... Oh, oops. Resistance endurance recharge time. And we'll change unyielding to the proc. That's the only one I had with force spikes. Yeah. That was it. And what's that get us? Resist 83.83, 41.17. Alright, we're at resistance 57. We're at resistance 57. Okay. So now swapping that in wouldn't change anything. Uh, so another place to change might have been to, no, let's to do that on tough, so nope, we still get more than these three. Why do we get more from 57.16 versus 57.76? Oh, because I took that off of the rock. Right. Okay, that's actually going to be the same between them. So we're at now 83% on Smashing Lethal, so we're now back into hard cap. Alright, that change may have been worth it. We're still at unyielding. 3.75, 7 point. Yeah, and yielding gives us more there. I had that. Not really buying a whole lot. And that's really the same slotting between the two. Alright, so we'll kind of plan on going with that. That's 41. Recharge time resistance. And proc, and we've got resistance, and resistance recharge. 82.8, 41.56. 41.56 versus. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. So we're putting you on temporary invulnerability, and adjusted targeting goes to rage. Here we have 2 hit buff recharge, and here we have recharge. So 3. Alright, Aegis. We're putting Aegis on resist elements, tough. Alright, resist endurance, tough. Okay, I have a second resist endurance. Don't need a resistant. Did I? No, I didn't do psionic status resistance. Maybe there's a reason for that. We did the same slotting on all of those. Okay, so resist endurance on resist elements. Resist endurance recharge on tough. Well, that's an auto power. What if I change this to resistance recharge? 78.84. Alright, well, not really a whole lot. Just 0.04% buff. So, since I've already got these ones, we'll just go with what we've got. Alright, and Gloom. Alright, we're not going to be using Armageddon in this build. So we'll pull Armageddon's off. A 2-hit debuff endurance. Our Gladiator's armor resistance, which is going on resist energies. Hecatomb, which is going on Haymaker. Alright, Jump, which is going jump, hurdle. We're not using the kinetic combats on this build, so we can go there. Alright, luck of the gambler, defense, endurance. On invincibility is... Am I using any multi-slot luck of the gamblers? Yeah, okay, defense, endurance on combat jumping. And I guess if you're going to decrease some endurance usage, it might as well be on another toggle. I think everything else I moved to Gift of the Ancients, it looks like, except for Weave. So the rest of these can just come up here. Lumina Heal can go on health. Talk gets changed for sonic damage, and now Dull Pain gets finished out. Alright, recharge. I have no idea what I had this recharge. Oh, hasten. But I'm not using hasten anymore. I'm not using this endurance perk anymore. Swift. And sprint. Alright, and shield walls go... Alright, we're putting the contemporary invulnerability, so I need tough. My tough's already full up. I need unyielding and temporarily. So resistance, resistance. Apparently, I don't have a third unbreakable guardian Mars. Resistance, endurance, resistance, endurance. Resistance, endurance, not using. Resistance, recharge. Into resistance, endurance, recharge. Resistance, endurance, recharge. Alright, then our travel into speed of sound. Why is it saying I've got winner's gifts selected elsewhere? Because I don't. It's not even in the alternates. Oh, combat jumping. That's why. Okay, never mind. Alright, Apocalypse. Going into Gloom. Armageddon, we're not using. Blistering Cold into Knockout Blow. Dark Obliteration gets Frozen Blast. Megatune gets the proc. Alright, Punch is getting Superior Brutes. Accuracy will matter more than recharge, and Foot Stomp is getting the full Enchilada. And I didn't drive this out because I don't really need the lethal smashing resistance. Even though I obviously had it in an earlier build. Okay, so there we go. Now let's finish this out. Let's first of all store the enhancements I don't need if I've got storage space for them. I'm gonna go throw this on the auction house because I don't think I use a scaling defense resist proc anymore. Defense protection knockback. So I'm either gonna have to go buy one or make one. Very rares. Okay, I've got some room to put these, and I need to pick up Ragnarok. Ragnarok damage, endurance reduction, damage recharge accuracy, recharge accuracy. Let's go ahead and slot these in corrosive vial. Damage endurance reduction, damage recharge accuracy, so I just need a damage recharge. It's probably going to be in one of these other pens. Ragnarok, damage, chance for knockdown. Stalker, Ragnarok damage. Ragnarok damage, recharge. Yep, I knew I had to have someone. One somewhere, so damage recharge. And now we're slotted on that. And now I need on resist energies. I need you, but with that. Invincibility, okay, I need Gift of the Ancients. Do I have any Gift of the Ancients hanging around in here? Yes, I do. Not as many as I thought I would have. Although there's a very good chance that the other ones I had were attuned, so I just put them in the auction house. Okay, so defense endurance recharge. Need to go on invincibility, defense increased run speed. Alright, and I need some for tough hide as well, so I need to go get this from the auction house. I need to go put the kinetic combats up. I can put the luck of the gamblers up. I can put the unbreakable card up. I do have impervious skin, which can now go into resist physical damage. And let's see what else we got to put up. Okay, an ATO and an Armageddon. Put the Armageddon over here. Wander over to this bin, where we've got Winter's Gift, Endurance, Slow Resistance. Alright, so I had a slash endurance on there. So we'll do another slash endurance on combat jumping, proc on combat jumping. And let's move our little farmer to another junction because it looked like she ran out of targets. Okay. And there we go. Alright, let's come back to... I need Gift of the Ancients. I got what I need right there. Okay, speed of sounds. Now I just need our endurance modifications. So healing, power transfer. Alright, we do have a power transfer damage endurance modification and then power transfer endurance modification. We, however, do not have... so how am I doing on converters? I may have enough converters to get what I need. Okay, so endurance modification. Let's go check supergroup storage. Okay, I got catalyst there. No boost, no converters, no converters. No converters. No converters. Okay. Oh well, it was worth looking for a shot. I've only got a few to work with. We've got a number of damage recharges, so we'll try those first. Convert in set. Well, there's an endurance modification. And okay, there's a chance to heal self. Oh, whoa, got it. Okay, so chance to heal self on stamina, and chance to heal self on experimental injection. Alright. I think okay, we're gonna go look in special for a force feedback. Yep, there's one chance for recharge. And kick. And did I have a regenerative tissue over here? It wouldn't be there. It would be here. Regenerative tissue. I need to go sell that. The others I could convert if I had conversions, but I don't. Actually, I could convert this one as well, so we'll go put it back. And we'll bring in a character who has a few more converters on them and convert those to procs later. Alright. Now before I forget about it, clear tray. And now we'll just go auction house. Sold. And throw you up. Alright, enhancements, crafted enhancements. Resist damage. Steadfast protection, resistance defense. 30. And there are none for sale. But a lot of people bidding for them, so I may have to go buy that one with merits. And I don't have enough merits. It's not on this character. Okay, so I need to go buy some enhancements. Let's look at gift pan. I also need to go get some enhancement boosters. So I'm going to do some marketeering to get the items I need. We are actually at 59 minutes on this rebuild. So we'll go ahead and cut it here. And we'll come back later and finish the build up. I'm Aurian Archive.